Hey guys, this is RobinX1 here, and I'm here to give you the review for Killing Joke, the animated movie. Um, a few years ago, I did the comic book review for the actual comic book. Um, and in that actual comic book, I basically stated that I didn't enjoy the comic book. This is definitely one of those comic books that's very overrated. Um, that being said, it pretty much gives you so many interesting elements that without this book, you wouldn't have had. Like, you wouldn't have had the death of Jason Todd. You wouldn't have had Oracle, which is arguably one of the best things that ever came out of Killing Joke. You wouldn't have had the Arkham games. You wouldn't have had half the amount of stories that you actually have with Joker without this story. So, going into the animated series, going into this animated movie, there's quite a lot of expectation, and unfortunately, the expectations for the DC animated films aren't that high. And having watched this film, don't expect your hopes to be too high. This movie is actually rated R. I think it's an R. This movie is a 15 in the UK release. And yeah, I would give it about a 15. I actually would pretty much give it about a 12A actually. This movie was released in the cinema and was also released as an 18 film. It's not an 18 film. It's a 12A to about 15. It's definitely not something that you can show a young child, but there's certainly nothing there's certainly nothing 18 about this film. Like, it's not like with Deadpool, which had loads of sex, loads of swear words. This movie is very, very tame. The only adult themes are the sex with Barbara Gordon, which we'll talk about, and maybe some of the disturbing imagery, because it's based off a comic book which had a lot of disturbing imagery. But this is a very, very tame movie. So this movie can be basically considered into two movies. It starts with the opening with Batgirl, and then there's the Killing Joke aspect. Basically, the whole Batgirl stuff in the beginning made no sense to the entire story of what was being told. Basically, it's Batgirl trying to, is Batgirl being, Batgirl is basically going after this man who is obsessed with her, which kind of ties into Joker's plot, but not really. Basically, the whole entire Batgirl element to this movie made no sense. It didn't need to be in this film. I think it works as a standalone piece, and I would have completely loved to see a movie that's just about Batgirl, and you have Batman and Nightwing coming in periodically, but you did not need that Batgirl bit in line with the Killing Joke bit. Batgirl, the whole entire Batgirl scene was not needed. And then you have the Killing Joke, which is a pretty faithful adaptation of the actual comic book. And it's okay. It's nothing major. It's not amazing. It's just okay. It's basically it's the exact same problem that I had with the actual Killing Joke book. It made no sense. And it was just a very, very disappointing movie. Because you could have easily have meshed all the stuff going on with Batgirl with all this Killing Joke aspect and moulded it into something new and interesting. Unfortunately, what we got the first bit not making any sense, and then the Killing Joke, which is a meh story. Don't get me wrong, there are aspects to Killing Joke that are actually really, really good, and the exploration between the whole one bad day thing works really, really well in the Killing Joke aspect. But unfortunately, you have to tie that into the stuff that goes on with Batgirl, and that's where the whole entire thematic theme of the movie breaks down. There is nothing unique about this film, and everything that could have made it unique falls apart, simply because the story isn't a cohesive narrative. It doesn't mesh very well. The whole idea of the Killing Joke is that all it takes is one bad day. All it takes is someone to have that bad day, for them to basically go mad and crazy and insane. And Joker makes this commentary throughout the Killing Joke that basically one bad day can lead to insanity, and that the whole idea of Batman's hold on control is basically it's hard to say. It's basically utter bullshit. Basically Batman's whole entire concept of order is utter bullshit, and yeah, that's basically all you need to take away from this film. All in all, this film isn't very good. It's certainly not worth the amount I spent on this. This is about a $7.99 movie. Guys, if you can find this any cheaper, fine, but you don't need it. It's nothing new, and if you're gonna buy the Killing Joke, buy the comic book. The comic book is just better, and yeah. Anyway, guys, stay tuned for my Suicide Squad review, and I shall see you all later. Bye.